Good morning, Rabbi Isai. We start off with a beautiful, big Mazel Tov, the famous Israel Kreinberg. Take a look. It's Bar Mitzvah. This guy, how many daf have you done with us? Berach. All of a sudden, he doesn't know. All of a sudden, there's one thing he doesn't know. Huh? Be'erach.
Thousands.
Since Sanhedrin. Okay, so you do the math and get back to me. 500 daf as a 13-year-old. It's probably more. And he knows it. He's the one. They had Shweki singing there. This is Chaim. I'm serious. He is very good. I don't know. I asked you about. I said this guy has a really good voice, and then you told me like he's his Rebbe. That's what I thought. Oh, that's what you said. Okay, I didn't know. Yossi brought him to Staten Island. Started doing the shir, doing the daf after meeting Rebelli at the shir in Staten Island. Now he needs a big refuah shleima and it hasn't stopped. Yossi Mishena Reza refuah shleima. Nothing. Refuah shleima. Okay, not. Oh, what is it? There's actually a video there. Fine. This I said already. This I said. This one is a really good. I like this one. Ephraim Graber. New journey and accountability and a big thank you. Please send my biggest thank you to Rebelli. I'm only 9 days into my journey. So usually I wait a little bit more than 9 days before I read an email. But it's a good one. Using the MDY shit to hold myself accountable to continue learning consistently. It used to come second nature to me. Going back to 2012, I finished Shas when I was 20 years old. I was on a roll. I got married and went to Koil and continued doing the daf with brachas and Shabbos and easily was breezing by, actually remembering a lot of sugyas easily from my first time. Then life hit me. Baruch Hashem, I had a baby, started working. It was very hard to keep up with the daf. I would miss days and not go back and continue on because that was the best way to stay on track. And I would mark down what I missed on papers. Years went on like this. And my learning was very inconsistent. I finished Masechtas here and there, but there's no consistency in my learning. Funny enough, fast forward almost 14 years. I'd always see you share over the time. But now, I listened to your interview with my friend Yaakov Langer. You mentioned at one point about a nebuch. There are people who love learning and know how to pound, but have just not opened the Gemara in years. Even though that wasn't quite the extent of my issue, but it made my eyes well with tears while I was listening to the podcast while shopping in bingo. Told crazy stories of people that share saved their lives. I wanted to save my consistency in learning. The few Masechtas, I have a whole Masechta blank on my checklist, starting with Beitza. I unpacked from bingo, grabbed my iPad, and grabbed the Beitza, and started Daf Beis. It's more than a week later, and I haven't missed a Daf. And believe me, I'll finish Beitza and move on to my next one. Only checklist. Thank you. On my check. On? That's what he means. Okay. Yeah. I feel like it's already making me a better person, like Rebelli said, and I feel like a new. I'll keep you posted throughout my journey. Okay, we're looking forward. Huh?
Send it to. It's nice.
I like the fact that he cried a shtickle in bingo.
Like you.
This is the first time I made somebody cry in bingo. There's other places.
No, man. Other people cried in bingo.
You know, this is the first time. All right, this is interesting. This is interesting because Dave did this during Shir. During Shir, we had a warning, meaning like there's missiles that left Iran. We don't know exactly where they're going to hit. Get ready. So here you can see the typical thing, Baruch Hashem. It goes usually all around. We're like in the center, and it didn't really affect us. We didn't have a siren. But we forgot there's over 1,000 people that watched the shir live. And then we're realizing that they do have to go to shelters. Here's Rehovot, empty. The place had to leave to the bomb shelter. And the guys in Bnei Brak, they took a picture in the bomb shelter. So, I don't know what we have to do. Maybe we have to pause for 5 minutes just to let them get back into the room. I don't know. We weren't thinking. It was like, oh, we're good. Okay, but there's other people with you at the time.
They can take it with you into the shelter.
They do take it. Yeah. They take it with them, right? Official edition of the White Shas, the Masechta by the Iranian Levi families, Perek Anonymous, the Nishmas of Imoyer of Chaim ben Rabbi Yosef Zichron Levracha. The Daf, Naftali Salman, to Eli Stefansky and the MDY team. Thank you for changing my life and so many others through your Torah each day. Shkoyach Naftali. First time I'm reading that. Givaldik. David Salman, dedicated, it's a different Salman. It's Solomon with O's and then Salman with A's. There's a dedicated memory of Avi Meir, Shmuel Baruch, Reb Chaim Tzvi Dois, Rechon Levracha. Joel Gedalis, Lili Nishmas, my father. This guy is talking a lot now. Somebody, huh? No, but it's annoying. Lili Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalis. Anonymous, Atzlacha Baruch Nisv Gashmis. The Palchik Family Foundation, Lezech Nishmas, Rabbi Goy, Reb Shlomo Palchik, the Mech Seilui. Anonymous for Shlomo Lamoisha Ben Izah. Anonymous for a complete refuah Shlomo and Ariel Yom to Leiba Bas Esther. Shmuel Malki, Tov the Teres Pichom Malvi Zav Chesef. We're so proud of you. Yaakov Mordechai, keep steiging. So the Grossen family, Canvey Island, in honor of Rebel, you changed my meaning of life. Plenty Almoini, Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Oiskim Tzorche MDY, Akash Baruch Shalom Scharam. Ari Simon. L'Refuah Shleima Avi Moiri Baruch Ben Miriam. Jamie Azulai, Refuah Shleima Esther Bas Luna, Moshe Aaron, Miriam Landi, Hoydel Hashem Kitov Kilim Chazdoi. Anonymous for the merit of Refuah Shleima, for all the Klai Yisrael who needs Refuah Shleima. So Fishy Fisher, in honor of Moshe, is putting on tefillin. It says that I'm helping Yidin Davim Tzibor and Papa Yonim anywhere worldwide. Lianishmas Chaim Shalom Ben Mitzal. Yoni and Tali Spiegelman, and urgent Refuah Shleima for Hayeled Chaim Rafal Ben Sarah, our dear nephew. Anonymous, Refuah Shleima for Yenta Braina Bas Aliza. Kinnovations LC as Schus for Kiv Simcha Ben Fega. And Rivka Yehudis, Bas Yafachaya, Kiv Simcha is my son. Rather, it happens to be, I don't know if I should say this B'Ravim, but this morning, I got a text message from him, love you. It might have been the first time. And Punkti writes here, Schus for Kiv Simcha. So maybe it goes together. Love you, good night. Daily sponsors, David Kreinberg. In honor of my grandson Yisrael's bar mitzvah, Mazel Tov. Joe Goldstein, Lidishmas Yaakov Ilan Ben Yosef, Vala Halevi, Ve'ela. Yaakov Ilan Ben Yosef, Ve'ela. Yosef and Ve'ela Halevi. Anonymous for the merit of Ben Tzion Ben Shifra, Mitch Mandel, in honor of the bris of Liam Shachar, Mazel Tov, the parents Gavi and Dina Turner. And the way art, Refuah Shleima Yonatan Edom Ben Sheva Bracha, Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther, Refuah Hayel Daniel Zev Ben Eyel Esther. You remember those days when I didn't read all the sponsors? Yes. Remember those days? Zok Teheli Gemara, Tanu Rabbanon, like 17 lines from the bottom of Nun Zayin Omud Beis. Tanu Rabbanon. 7 minutes in, no, nish gefährlich. Minayin lemalim ibsarchatos. There are parts of the animal that you put on the mizbeach. There are parts of the korbanos that you eat. The parts that you are permitted to eat, and you put it on the mizbeach, it's a big no-no. It's what we call a lav. How do you know it's a lav? How do you know it's a issa d'oraisa? The kohen gets a portion, you can bring it home and eat it. Not home, you can eat it in the Beis Hamikdash, whatever. Usually. Sometimes you could bring it home, maybe. How do you know that if you put it on the mizbeach, you're over? Minayin lemalim b'sar chatos. So do the math with me. We're talking about kochi kochim here. So chatos. Chatos, we know part of it, the kohen gets to eat. You put that part on the mizbeach, no good. B'sar asham, he gets to eat a little bit of the asham, no good. What's left from kochi kochim? Oila. Ariel, you can't eat. So now, what's the next one? If you know this, don't answer. I'm saying if you're looking in the Schattenstein over there. What else is kochi kochim? What else is on the list? We did most of the list already. We did chatos, asham, oila. There's only one more. Shalmi tzibur. What's shalmi tzibur? When do you give shalmi tzibur? On Shavuos. On Shavuos. So that's the fourth one. So here we go. Here's the list of kochi kochim. Chatos, asham, oil is not counted. The entire thing goes on the mizbeach. Shalmi tzibur, that's the only one that's left. That's what it's called kochi kedoshim. Now, when kochim kalim is the whole list on the left. The shlamim, the nose of b'chor meiser. These are all obviously the kohen gets to eat from it. So if you put any of the kochim kalim on the mizbeach, you over u'memoisar oimer, and the leftover of the oimer that goes again to the Kehanim, Moiser Shtei HaLechem, the two breads and Shavuos that the Kehanim get to eat. And Lechem HaPanim they get to eat on Shabbos, the Kehanim. You take a Lechem HaPanim and put on the Mizbeach, no. Umeshiyari Menachos, and all the leftovers of the Mincha, the Kmitza goes on the Mizbeach, but the leftover goes to the Kehanim. if you put the shirayim on the mizbeach, shehu b'loisas yoiver and alav, Talmud loymar, and we had this. If you're with us in Zvachim, so you remember this. Talmud loymar kichol sa'or v'chol devash, lois aktir mimenu ishel Hashem. Kichol sa'or, all the leavening agents, the sourdough, v'chol dvash. Rabbi say, who here knows what dvash is? What's dvash?
Date honey?
Date honey. What else? That's it. So you're not allowed to put on the mizbeach date honey. What about an orange? It's not honey. You're allowed to put an orange on the mizbeach?
No pears. No fruit.
Dvash over here means fruit. Typically, dvash means date honey, because in the Shivas Aminim, dvash, not today. Now it means dvash, v'chol dvash, and I'll put any fruit. You can't put grapes, you can't put apples. So the Gemara Darshans, we're in the middle of the drasha. Kol shuhu mimenu li'ishim, anything that you put onto the fire, harehu bebal taktiru, whatever's left over, you're over on bal taktiru. As long as you put some of it on the mizbeach, then the leftover, you're over if you put on the mizbeach on the bal taktiru. Says Gemara, wait a minute. Part of the list is the breads. You don't put any of it on the mizbeach. You don't put a little part of the lechem aponim on the mizbeach. So it doesn't fit into this isser. The isser is, if you put part of it on the mizbeach, that's what you're supposed to do. You take the chatos, you put the imurim on the mizbeach, so whatever's left over, you're not allowed to put on the mizbeach. Bal taktiru. But lechem aponim, there's no part of it that goes on the mizbeach. Huh? Shtei alechem also. Shtei alechem. Lechem aponim. Yesh mehem liishim. No, it's focused on lechem aponim because people recognize it more. But Tanya, we learned, yotzu shtei alechem, v'lechem aponim, there's few things that you could ask people. This is not fear. This is like a unfair thing. But yesterday I was the barber. That's where I try to pick every time I get at least one guy to agree to come to the shir, and they don't come at the end. They say they'll come.
One guy who's going to come today, he sent a message last night.
Who sent the message? Really? He is going to join today. Okay. He told me okay, fine. So there's a guy sitting at Gingy's. So I said, how come you don't do the daf? This, that. He had a good voice, the whole thing. I said, listen, I don't want to hear any excuses about you. You have to go with your daughter. You have to this, that. You got to come to the share. He says, wait, time out. Why do you say daughter? So I got nervous. I thought maybe something happened to his daughter. He says, it's my daughter's bas mitzvah today. And I was going to tell you, I can't come because it's my daughter's bas mitzvah. So because you mechaven to that emes, I'm going to come to the share. So he came the next day. He came for 3 days and he dropped out. So I don't have a big hatzlach over there. But anyway, so I asked the people there, so this I don't want to do that whole thing. I said, just if you could tell me what Trumas Meiser is, you don't have to come to the shir. Just Trumas Meiser. That's the simplest thing. Trumas Meiser. Guy in his 30s, no clue. He starts telling me, most people don't know. Ask them, go to shul, ask people that don't do the daf, they don't know what Trumas Meiser is. They barely know what Truma is, they barely know what Meiser is, they get those two confused usually. But Trumas Meiser, forget it. What is Trumas Meiser? It's the 10% you give to the Levi has to give 10% to the Kohen. At least, like when you go ask that question, ask me, what's Trumas Meiser? At least you should know yourself what it is. But ask them what Hagosha is. Hagosha, forget about it. What's Hagosha? So Hagosha is basically, most of you know, is to take, at least you know what corner it is. You might not know what it is, but you know what corner it is. What corner is it on? Oh, Givaldik. Southwest. Southwest corner, you take the, whatever it is, the bikurim, the mincha, you put it on the south, you touch it, the mizbeach. So now we're talking about Hagosha over here. There's no Hagosha when it comes to the lechem aponim, the shtei alechem. You don't bring the breads to the southwest corner. You don't touch it. Why? It says mefurish, there's nothing that goes in the fire. If nothing goes in the fire, then we have a problem. Look, there's no Hagosha because nothing goes in the fire. So there shouldn't be an isser to put it on the mizbeach. Nothing goes on the fire. You need to start with something. Something that part of it goes on the fire, then the other part cannot go on the fire. Then there's isser to put on the mizbeach. But lechem aponim and shtei lechem have 0 that goes on the fire. How do I know? Because it says by hagasha that the reason why there's no hagasha is because nothing goes on the fire. Oh, so nothing goes on the fire. There shouldn't be a big isser to put it on the fire. Omer Rav Sheshes, ei megufar liishim. He says, oh, you're right. When it comes to hagasha, there's nothing from within the lechem aponim. You don't take any part of the lechem aponim and put it on the mizbeach. And therefore what? There's no hagasha. But what does go on the mizbeach when it comes to the lechem aponim, Rabbi Yisai? The bezichim. The levayna that's in the 2 spoonfuls. That's enough to consider it shirayim. In other words, when I'm looking at the lechem aponim, there's a matir. The shtei alechem also there's a matir. The karbonos go on the. So since there's a matir, what's a matir? Something that allows you to eat the lechem aponim. What allows you to eat the lechem aponim? When you put the levayna, you put the frankincense. Maybe I even have some over here. Oh, no. Nisht. Oh, here it is. You take some of this, 2 spoons of this, and you put it on the mizbeach. That allows me to eat the lechem aponim. So the lechem aponim is the leftover of this. In terms of the pasuk that you should not put the leftover on the mizbeach, that's enough to be over on lechem aponim. In terms of kol shemimenu liishim, it's good. In terms of hagasha, no, it doesn't work for hagasha. A megufor liishim, for hagasha you need from its own self. Itmar. Hamala mekulam agabe yakevesh. Another sugya. What about if you don't put it on the actual mizbeach, you don't put it over here, you go up the ramp, leave it on the ramp. Is the ramp considered the mizbeach? Rabbi Yochanan chayav. Rabbi Elazar Omar Potter. Rabbi Yochanan says the ramp is considered like the mizbeach. Rabbi Elazar says no. Rabbi Yochanan chayav. This hayom mizbeach in the elam mizbeach. Kevish minayin. How do I know the ramp is considered part of it? Talmud loymar ve'elam mizbeach leyalu. There's a double lashon basically, because if you look at the pasuk, it says in pasuk Yud Aleph kichol sa'av v'chol dvash loisak tiru. You shouldn't put it on the mizbeach. And in pasuk Yud Beis it says loyalu ve'elam mizbeach leyalu. So why does the Torah say it again? To teach us that the kevish is also considered. Rabbi Elazar Amar Potter, my time at across sa'aru dvash korban reishis takriv oisam. Oisam. Only the sa'aru dvash, which is, how do you translate sa'ar and dvash into a carbon? Which carbonos are considered sa'ar and dvash? Sa'ar is the shtei alechem, as the Gemara is going to say in a minute, and the dvash is the bikurim, the fruits. It's not just the dates, the fruits. So ha'isam the Rabbi Lach kevesh kimizbeach. The ramp is considered part of the mizbeach for those 2 things, but not other things. And Mameli he says potter, if you put anything else on the ramp, it's not considered the mizbeach. Rabbi Yochanan, who says, he's marba, he's not memayit. So what does Isam come to be memayit? What does it come to take away? Oh, if I okay, we'll say in a second. Maybe an individual, a guy comes to the Beis Hamikdash, he says, I saw a beautiful thing, they bring 2 breads on Shavuos, I also want to bring 2 breads as a nedava. The Kohen he bought, and he's menadiv, so now he's forced to bring it. You have to keep your word. It's a plural lashon, takrivu, only tzibor marti l'chav, the individual cannot bring the 2 lachem. Yachar, yeah, Yachid, maybe. You know what? Okay, so you, as an individual, Reuven, cannot bring it. Maybe MDY can get together, and as a community, as a mishpacha, we'll bring shtei alechem. Because look, the community brings the shtei alechem on, maybe not MDY, maybe all Klal Yisrael. They bring it on Shavuos. So Rabbi Yochanan does learn the word oisam as a miyot. No. You bring Shtei Alechem as the Shtei Alechem, the Shalmi Tzibur, together with the Shalmi Tzibur, but that's it. It's part of Shavuos, but you can, a Chayva, not an Adava. And what exactly are you going to bring from the Sa'ir and Dvash? Shtei Alechem min Sa'ir, ubikurim min Advash. I want to show you a beautiful video that Shlomo did, the covered bikurim. Oh, it says something else here, but okay. Notice, also this is important for the Gemara, notice what's on top of the fruit baskets. If you look closely, you'll see. Pairach Aleha Gemi. You guys see what's on top of the basket? Chatzos Rois. Stand up.
מרמי עובד אביו וירד מצרימה ויגר שם ומתים מעט ויהי שם לגוי גדול עצום ורב.
Very nice. Okay. Be'ez Hashem b'karov. So ubikurim. Shtei Alechem min Asor b'kurim min Advash. Ask the Gemara, you just told me as an individual you cannot bring the two breads. Why not? Vatanya, if nemach chol sa'ar, lama nemach kol dvash. Now, without looking in the art scroll, please, without looking in the art scroll, without cheating, what's the Gemara asking right now? What's the kasha? Look in the regular, simple kasha of the Gemara. I asked the Israelis last night, they got so confused. Like they were nervous, they thought maybe there's a trick here. I'm not asking a trick question, I'm asking just a simple, make a laning here. Very, very simple. Im nemach kol sa'ar, Loma nemar kol dvash. What's the Gemara's kasha? Huh? What's the Gemara's kasha?
Why do you call?
Huh?
Why do you both calls?
Kol. But I see you cheating over there. You're looking in the. Okay.
Both calls.
I said not to cheat. You don't listen to me. I gave a clear rules. No cheating. You say, but I want to cheat.
Let's go.
You want to go weiter? Okay, fine. Yeah, that's the Gemara's kasha. That one. Let me explain why I was bothered by it. Because when I read it, let me just. Can you tell me what's bothering me? What's bothering me?
If I understood what's bothering you.
Okay. The Gemara asks, why does it say kol sar and why does it say kol dvash? What do you mean why? Because one is sourdough and one is honey. So it's two different things that you can't bring on the mizbeach. If it said dvash, I wouldn't know you can't put sourdough on the mizbeach. No, the Gemara's question is more on the word kol. Why does it say kol sar, kol dvash? The word kol is extra. V'im nemar kol dvash, lomo nemar kol sar. So one kol is enough. Because each one has a positive, and therefore I need the kol. Why? I would think you're allowed to put sourdough on the mizbeach. Why? Because you see in other situations in the Beis Hamikdash, you put sourdough on the mizbeach. Now, if you pause there for a second, where do we put sourdough on the mizbeach? Where? There's only one thing that I can think of right now, and that is the Shtei Alechem b'nedava. An individual decided to bring Shtei Alechem. Why? Because that's sourdough. It cannot be, 1 minute, that's the Gemara's kasha. Why are you telling me that sourdough that two lechem is also for an individual? Over here it says mafurish, you're putting sourdough on the mizbeach. Now it cannot be the sourdough that we bring on Shavuos because that doesn't go on the mizbeach, that the kohanim eat. So what sourdough ever goes on the mizbeach must be the two Shtei Alechem that the individual decided to donate it on his own.
Is it a tzibor nidal?
Huh?
I think the Gemara is asking for the tzibor to bring nidal.
What's the difference? Why? No, the Gemara is asking. You're saying the Laikrim does on the Tzibur? Why? Because the Gemara decided it's not only. No, but the Gemara on the Tzibur also said not. I don't know why. Okay, why would you jump to Tzibur? Let's see for a second. Because there's a miot of carbon ratios to krivu, and the Tzibur that has the one thing, and then. I don't know. You're saying it's stronger to say the Gemara got rid of Yachid for 100% and not Tzibur. I hear, okay, less of a jump. Fine, I'll go with you. Tzibur. Kol elav nemer kol sar. Yesh b'sar ma'shein b'dvash. V'yesh b'dvash ma'shein b'sar. Sar hu t'maklal b'mikdash. You're allowed to bring sourdough in the Beis Hamikdash. Dvash hu t'maklal b'mikdash. But fruit, you never see fruit on the mizbeach. Dvash fruit b'shiyar Menachos. But on the other hand, you see that fruit is mutter in the leftover of the mincha. Sorry, but you don't have sourdough mincha. But since each one has its own special thing, the Gemara is actually talking about a half a shear, as the Gemara is going to say soon. Kol comes to say even a part of it, that's the bottom of the amud. So over here also, you chayiv on a half a shear of a fruit. Now, we're going back. What did you mean when you said that once in a while you could bring sourdough in the Beis Hamikdash? Lav, shtei lechem, the karven adava. Obviously, you're talking about the two breads that you bring on Shavuos. Somebody decided, the tzibur decided to bring it as an adava. And Rashi just points out it real quickly. It cannot be referring to the shtei lechem that everybody you mechuyev to bring on Shavuos. The ma'anach the chayv le'matzin the lehutam b'mikdash. The carve of the mizbeach, you don't put it on the mizbeach ever. So the only thing that I could think of that goes on the mizbeach and the sourdough is an adava of the shtei lechem, and you're telling me the shtei lechem is also to bring. Omer Avram loy. No. Likarev imayim. What I was trying to tell you is, since the shtei lechem come together with korbanos here, like the famous picture over here. The tnufa, Avi, imagine doing on two. You did on one, you barely moved. Two, with the shtei lechem. Now, I don't know what he's doing over there. So memela, I would think that you're not allowed to put these two korbanos on the mizbeach. Why? Because they come with chametz. They're associated with the shtei lechem. The Brisker Rav says over here, you see that the shtei lechem and the sheep are actually one. Because the Gemara only asks from this. The Gemara doesn't, let's say, ask from taida. Taida is 40 breads, and you have a carbon taida. There's no zika, so to speak. That was just a funny lashon, zika. What? The borrowed lashon, yeah. Over here, because you do the tnufa together, and everything's together, they become like one. They become one unit. And since you cannot put part of that one unit on the mizbeach, why? Because it's chametz. You're not allowed to put so'er on the mizbeach. So perhaps you can't put the carbon also on the mizbeach. Well, no, Lord, the carbon man. Yachi asked the Gemara, but guess what? Fruit is also hutim klalai. It has like it comes together with a carbon. It comes together with birds. Those gazalas. Remember? I told you to pay attention in the video. There's a better picture actually than while I was watching. But here, these guys are all they have birds. So you say the same thing. Says Gemara, "Ditnana gizala shel gabe asalin, hayu oilos." The birds, they're oila. Vasalim should be adam nitanim lekehanim. The cheap baskets go to the kohen. The Gemara over there says that basar aniyusa, azal, basar anya azal aniyusa, something like that. That in English they say the opposite. The rich get richer, and the poor get poorer. That's what it means. The poor get poor. The wealthy, they bring a nice a golden basket, so they get it back. The poor that come with the cheap basket, they lose their basket to the kohanim. Okay.
Borrow gold one.
Okay. That's already, I don't know if you're allowed to. It's
You
mamish.
learn after the first year. Next time we'll come with it expensive.
I think it's easier just to give away your cheap basket than to start borrowing from a gvir, a golden basket, which he needs anyway for his thing. Okay.
Plastic shopping bag.
Yeah. So the Gemara. Oh, Hanu says the Gemara. No, these birds are not connected to the bikurim. Hanu la'ater bikurim huda'asu. It's unbelievable. Rabbi said, listen to this. The birds that are on top of the basket, shkoyach, those birds, they're there to beautify the bikurim. Like the shofars, like the
Like icing on the cake.
yeah, what?
In your house.
Yeah. I'm gonna get used to it when the Beis Hamikdash comes. Little cute, the white, all white pigeon with a little, okay, whatever it is. Medaf Shtein. By the way, Derech Agav, you're talking about that. I have a pigeon on my porch now that has broken wings because we have glass panes. So every once in a while they fly into it because they're very smart, these birds. So they go head first into it, they break their neck or break their thing, and then I get stuck. I don't know what to do with it. It's like it's sitting there on my porch. It hasn't eaten in a few days. And if anybody wants a free meal, please be my guest. So,
Put it on your wife's fruit basket and tell her.
Later sasalim, later bikurim. Listen to this. Rabbi said this is very important. This is a very, very important yisoid. I thought about it this morning. You know, it's a new cook. There are people that go out there and they look for esrig. They look for hours, for days. They go from here to there, to there, to there. And you could look at them and say, a little extreme. And then the other guy, from his dining room, he goes on Amazon, fix, esrogim, comes in the mail. Broken tip, not broken, it's not important right now. I got it from the guy, he told me it's good, I'm good. But what's the vart? What's the vart there? It's unbelievable. You see from this Gemara, la'ater bikurim. I'll give you a mashal. This is the mashal I thought in the morning. My good friend, Rav Noam Fix, he wrote an Agada. Right? He has a sefer on the Agada. What's it called again? Where can we get it?
Exodus of the mind.
He had to think about it for a second. I didn't ask you how many kids you had. It wasn't that difficult. It was a simple shaila. Exodus of the mind. Oh, look at that. Wow, Exodus of the mind. Imagine I tell Noam, I call him up, Noam, I'm getting up an hour early today. I'm getting up at 5 to go through your Agada. What would it do to him? Mamish, like, wow. You're machshir my Agada. You're getting up. You tell the Rebbeinu Shalom, I'm getting up an hour early to learn the daf. I'm getting up an hour. What does it do? I am going out now. I'm traveling from here to Yerushalayim. I'm going to search for esrik, so I keep him kaim mitzvah esrik. You could tell your wife, look, I'm stepping out for a minute. I'm going to the makolet. I'm going to get you a present from the makolet. Here, I got you something for Yantav. Yoitz design. Here, I got you a new iron. I got it down the block. Or I went over there, and they didn't have it. Then I went over there. I went to Mendy. You have a special diamond over there. And she chaps that I spent 3 days to get her the present. What does it do? It's a different cook. It's not, Meshugana, he went and he looked at the esrik. Nocha hour. What a weirdo with the magnifying glass. No, I went. I did for you. It's the mitzvah you told me to do, and I'm working on it. I'm working more than the other guy. It gives a certain chashivas to the Rebbe. Says, wow, look at this guy. He got up early for it. He's machshav me. There's idea of being mechaviv the mitzvahs, of going la'ater sa mitzvahs. I'm putting pigeons on it. I'm bringing music together while I do it. The mitzvahs bring bikurim. They bring bikurim. What's it? No. In addition to bikurim, there's la'ater mitzvahs. I heard a very nice vart last night from Dudi Braverman. He told me that Rav Shteiman said, he asked a kash on Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. Rav Shimon Bar Yochai was in the cave. They came out. They started killing. They looked at what did these people, and they started doing so. So Basel came out. Lahachar said, "Lomi yotzasa." You came out just to destroy my world. Get back into the cave. He went back in for another year. Comes back out, and then his son started destroying, and he started being, helping. And finally, they met a man, an old man that had 2 things of adasim. She says, "What's this?" She says, "Echad zachar and echad v'shamar." Rav Shimon Bar Yochai was so nispal. He's like, wow, look at HaKadosh Baruch Hu's children. And so he says, what was he so nispal from? He says, he was nispal from the Chavivus HaMitzvah. He wasn't mistopic with this. He went one for Zohar, one for Shama. He says, Rebbeinu Shalom, look how much I love you. Look at my love, look at my chiba to you. It's Zohar, Shamar, more Adasim. He says, oh, these are the simple Yidden. The simple Yid is going out of his way for the mitzvah. Zog the Gemara. Boy, Ram Bar Chama, Rav Chiz, no be'emes. I just hopped it today. This idea, like I also like, I spent many hours back when I was a kid searching for a Suragim. Today, I don't have that much time and this and that. But I started hopping. Hey, there's something to it. There's a lot to it. Zog the Gemara.
And the thing with the birds is you don't have to bring them with you.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That it's not.
You don't have to wear gold shoes. They wore gold shoes. There's certain parts of it in the Bikurim, in the last, they wore like special, on the way, yeah. It was a whole thing, Bikurim. Boy Ram Bar Chama Rav Chizda, Hamalim B'sar Chatas Ha'oif Agav Mizbeach Mao.
You're machaber for yourself also, not just you're machaber
I hear.
for yourself.
You make it more.
More precious to you.
Dave, do you see? Who's up there? Not Dave. Sorry, Gershon. Do you see a fast button, like a speed that you could double the speed on the video? Because Mark is telling me this morning he has it on his PowerPoint. I can't find it by us. No. It was on the screen itself. When you go to in the bottom right corner, if you hover your mouse, I was thinking maybe in this program you have it. No, this is similar to what I have. Interesting. No, sometimes there's a video, it's too long. Weiter, let's go. Let's do it on 2-speed, I can take it. Okay, we'll have to figure out how come they don't have a 2-speed, they have it on every device. No. I have to worry about these guys. All right.
Recorded the chatchila at faster speed.
Sometimes, yeah. But sometimes I get the video too late. Like a lot of times, some of these videos, I get caught off guard. They sent me last night. They sent me a video, 1.5 minutes. I didn't see it before. They're working. It takes a long time to make these videos. They give it to me as a middle share. Pops up on my screen. Go show. They tell me what it is. This is for this and this sugya. Push play. I don't know. It's 1.5 minutes. I'm sitting there, and it's not even to my taste or whatever. And whatever. Okay. This guy is Yom V'Layla on his bat. I thought I had something. Oh, here, the bat. Right over here. I didn't even talk about this. Seriously. Here. This is bat. If you send the word tafrit, or how do you do it in English? Or menu. Menu. And then it gives you the whole thing. You could ask it for all the songs. It even has Kol Shrotzim there. It has Tzur Sadaf. It has Shema Yisrael, it says on the side over here. No, it's Shema. I'm just kidding.
We're doing it now for Chazar. Ariel Psachim is on.
Ariel Psachim is on it. Kids, there are a lot of stuff on this bat. Kedai to download it. What?
Who's the bat macher?
The bat macher. Here, Dave the bat macher. He's mamish. I don't know what he does all day. Where are we? Oh, Rabbi Isai, who knows how much of a carbon of this? When you bring a bird chatas, the kohen gets to eat from it. How much of the bird chatas goes in the mizbeach? Nothing. What if you bring some chatas bird and put it on the mizbeach? You're not supposed to put it on the mizbeach. That's similar to the sugi we just had. Until now, we're talking about a chatas sheep that you're supposed to eat it. And instead of eating it, the kohen puts it on the mizbeach. It's a issa deraisa. But what about the bird? Instead of the kohen eating, he puts it on his mizbeach. You over the issa deraisa. What's the shaila? Now, over here, none of it goes on the mizbeach. You all decided, and you were right, that none of it goes on the mizbeach. So in you can't be mekayim that pasuk. What's the pasuk? The pasuk says if you put part of it on the mizbeach, the leftover you're not allowed to put on the mizbeach. But over here, by the bird, the entire thing doesn't go on the mizbeach. Or dilma kosher shmoi karban by nami shmoi karban. Over here, the Torah calls a bird a carbon. Where does the Torah call a bird a carbon? Look, v'min ha'oif oila karbana. It says mufurish. It's funny, Gershon. You see the menu is still on the screen. You have to take. Oh. It's called carbon. Vainami shmoy carbon. Therefore, if it's called a carbon, maybe you're not put it on the mizbeach. Omerlei kosher shmoy carbon. Yes. Vainami shmoy carbon. And this, in fact, is considered a bird. Is called a carbon. Ketanoi. No, I have to be strict with this rule. It's part of it has to go on the mizbeach in order to be over. Carbon, as long as it's called a carbon. My benayu. And what would be the nafkamina between these two shittas? One of them is what we just said. Rav Chisda is a chatas ha'ifik benayu. Chatas ha'if doesn't go on the mizbeach at all. So according to Rabbi Eliezer, you wouldn't be chayiv. According to Rabbi Kiva, it's called a carbon. You chayiv. Rav Amar lo yikshem mitzorek benayu. The oil that goes with the mitzorah, the oil obviously none of it goes on the mizbeach. So according to Rabbi Kiva, you'd be over. Why? The Tana Levi called karbanim the rabbis like shemen shel mitzorah, because it's called a carbon. According to Rabbi Kiva, you'd be over if you put the mitzorah's oil on the mizbeach. Tana Rabban. Sorry about the aktiru. Ainli ella kuloi. Oh, how do you know that if you put part of the sourdough, a half a shear, or even a mashu, according to Abaya, how do you know that you're over? Tamalaymer kol, anything. Oh, sorry. Sorry about the kdiru. Ainli ela kuloi mitzasim minayin. Tamalaymer kol, even part of it. Eruva minayin. How do you know if you mix the sourdough with matzah? Let's say it's a mixture. How do you know you're over? Tamalaymer kikol, from the word ki. My kamar, what's going on here? Omar Bayochi Gomar. Sorry about the ktiru. Ainli ela kizais. The shear is a kizais. Chatzi zais. How do I know a half a shear? Which, by the way, according to Abaya, half a shear means even a nothing. There's no such thing as a half a zais. Half a zais means a kolshu. It's either a zais or less than a zais. There's also a half a zais. Tamaloy kol. I'm pointing it out because by Rava, when he starts, his starting point is 2 zaysim. So half a 2 is 1 full zayis, which is a full shear. But according to Abaya, our starting point is a zayis. So half of that is a mashu. You put a little, how do you call it? A crumb of, a speck of sa'ir on the mizbeach, you'd be over. Tamalayma kol. Eruv minayin, how do you know a mixture? Tamalayma kiko. Rava Amar, very similar but different. Hachiko Amar, so about the ktir, same words. Ainli elo koimetz. Instead of saying kizayis, he says a kmitza. Chatzi koimetz minayin. How do you know I have a kmitza? Kmitza, you go like this with your fingers. Tamalayma kol. Eruv minayin, tamalayma kiko. Same limudim, same everything, but instead of saying the word kizayis, he says koimetz. But Michael Mivli, so what's the nafkamina if you call it a kizayis or a kmitza? Abai, so avayish koimetz pachis mishnei zeisim. Don't get excited, Rabbi. Daf Noach Beis. We're doing Toisus Iked Amri soon. The way you read this Gemara is, since Abaya's starting point is less than 2 zaysim, less than 2, how much is half of less than 2? Let's call it 1 3/4. What's half of 1 3/4? I went to Panovich. What? 0.875. 0.875. You're right. 0.875. 78. 875. 0.875. Yeah, not 8. 0.875. So, see, the way you read it is, since your starting point is Pachas Mishnei Zeisim, it is 1 3/4, let's say. So Memela v'yeshak Torah pchuzim zayis. The Torah tells you can do half. So half was less than a full zayis. It's 0.875 of a zayis. V'yeshak Torah pchuzim zayis. You see that to be over an aktara, you're over even in less than a zayis. V'yesh means and therefore. V'rava Amar, going with that. V'rava ain't koymetz pachas mishnei zayis. No. Your kmitza must be at least 2 zaysim. There's a whole chazanish over here. You see that their hands were larger. How did a zayis fit in? A whole zach. Akopanim, kmitza has to be at least 2. So when the Torah says kol, which means half of 2 is 1. So you have at least 1 zayis that you're, in order to be over an aktar, it has to be at least 1 zayis. Vein aktar, therefore the aktar is a zayis. If your starting point is more than 2, so the half of 2 is 1. Turning to the daf, with our global happy clients all year, not just this month. L'shadach.com. Please read a shidduch today. I hope the Olam and L'shadach tells me they give us some good news. They write us an email that because of this L'shadach.com thing, somebody got engaged, or at least somebody went out. Let's hear about a date. Zok the Gemara. Itmar. Hamalim esoyer midvash al gabi mizbeach. Listen to this. I want you to think about it for a second, without looking at the Gemara. Just entertain yourself. What if? Not funny. What happens if you put so'or and vash on the mizbeach?
He said before that you get up an hour before to look his safe. I'd say
You're smart.
I have a better idea. Just don't rip any pages out. That's all.
Wow, you waiting for that one.
Don't worry about it. I was when I went to Yossi Klein's chasana, I found a Gemara in my house, a Masifta, mamish like yours. I ripped the pages out and put it in my jacket, and I used it. It actually helped me before shir. I wanted to go over the Gemara again.
You would rip out and use it of mine of Leiba.
To me, it's fine to rip pages out. It's not you've never done it, but I do it. I did it this week. I'm telling you, within the week I've done it. You saw?
I saw.
I ripped it out of my Gemara. Why? Because that's what I need now. I don't need my small masifta at my house. I'd never use it. Ripped it out. For now, it's good. So what do you? It's all relative.
Rip it out right now.
It's not mine. Donate it to MDY. It says over here. You give rishus?
Don't rip it out.
Hold on. Oh, Rabbi Kiva. Fine. Zog Gemara. So listen. It's very geschmack. The Torah says don't put sourdough on the mizbech. Don't put honey, fruit on the mizbech. What if you put both of them on the mizbech? How many lavim are you over if you put both? So everybody's going to say you're over 2. The Gemara says no. You're going to be over on either 4 or none, 0. Or I'm talking about in terms of malchus. How many malchus you get? You get 4 malchus. Why? Says the Gemara. Hamal Messiah, I told you, if you just read it, it wouldn't be so much fun. But if you thought about it for a second, it makes it more interesting. Hamal Messiah midvash agabe mizbeach omerova. Loigim mishum sa'ar. That's pashut. You get a malchus for sa'ar. V'loigim mishum dvash. Loigim mishum iruvi sa'ar u'mishum iruvi dvash. We established on Omid Aleph that Yoiver kol. What was the lashon? Ki kol. The Yoiver iruvi minai tamaloy ki kol for the key. So a mixture is aser. So in Mela, there's a mixture going from the sa'ar to the dvash, but also from the dvash to the sa'ar, which is super interesting. And in Mela, that one mixture, you over on 4 things. First of all, in the mixture you have sa'ar, that's 1. In the mixture you have dvash, that's 2. In the mixture you have sa'ar and dvash. And you also have dvash and sa'ar, 4. So we're like mishum dvash, like mishum iruv sa'ar, mishum iruv dvash. Abaye Omar ein loikin alav shebeklalois. There's something called lav shebeklalois. Do not worry, because first of all, the sugi is over in 2 lines. There's a Mishnah starting in the Daf test. But look at this. See if this helps. Oh, this is our guy.
Okay, Yonkel, your first day.
Yonkel.
Do you remember everything you need to do?
Yes, Reb Kalman. I know everything perfectly.
Here's your Menachos chinuch.
A Menachos chinuch, our boy says, the first time he's doing an avodah, he brings a Menachos chinuch.
What? Such a simple kurabun for something so special? I think I can do better.
What's with the list? Oh.
I'll have 12 of those to go, please.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I had 1 or 2 of those in my life. You go there and there, you know?
What do you think you are doing? Are you aware that this could
Malchus
cause
thing.
you 4 molkus?
Since this kurabun is a mixture of seor and davash,
It's a love shebi klolis, and there's no molkus.
No molkus. Oh, a lav shebeklolos. So what's a lav shebeklolos? A lav shebeklolos means it's not a straightforward lav. It has other stuff to it. This is your man. You like his teeth, the whole thing.
It's your pet peeve.
What? No. Don't tell everybody. Okay, hey, look at lav shebeklolos. So I don't know if he does it on purpose. That's just AI. AI is a shtickle off on his lashonis. I go about him. If the Torah says, as the Gemara is going to say soon, the Torah says, don't put a how do you say chasim on a muzzle? Don't put a muzzle on an animal. It's very straightforward. It's one lav. Boom. That's it. But he started telling me, don't put sourdough on the mizbech. Oh, and don't put sourdough together with. That's already too much. Now you're being general. You're starting to say more stuff. Lav shebeklolos. So what does that mean? So what, you don't get anything, or you get a little bit? No, you'll get the malchus that the Torah says don't put sourdough, you get. But sourdough with a mixture, that you're not going to get 2 for that. That's already too much. Listen to this. You don't get any malchus at all. Listen to here. Look at the Torah. The Torah says over here, Arboim yakenu, malchus. This is another thing you should ask people, and it's kedai to teach people. I'm serious. When you give somebody a kick in the shin, you punch him in the face, give him a smack. All these things that we used to do in yeshiva, you over on this pasuk gimel. Arba yakenu lo yosef pen yosef. There's an isser deiraisa to hit somebody, and if they warn you not to do it, and you smack a guy because you're mad at him, you get malchus for it. It's isser deiraisa. It's isser deiraisa. Yeah, people don't chap. I don't know why the Rabbeim never told it to us. Maybe they didn't. They didn't say. No, that's mutter. Even if you're not supposed to, because they'll hit you back, but they're allowed. Chinuch, you're allowed to. Fine. Akoparim. Look what it says in pasuk daled. Pasuk daled says leisachsim. So we make there's a comparison. Just like leisachsim is very poshet. It's 4 words. Leisachsim shar b'dishay. When he's treading on the wheat, you shouldn't put a muzzle. So too, any other lav has to be very pasha, the straightforward lav. Once you start mixing more things and giving it more, you're not allowed to mix the sar with the dvash and the dvash with the sar. Then you're not chayiv anything. Just as a short, this is our new guy. His name is Nachman. He did charisha here. It's not really disha, it's charisha, but the idea is the same. He makes the music himself. He's a big mumcha. This music he did by himself. The kids are selling this shar because it's gewaldig. Okay, shkoich Nachman. I call upon him. It's not a single lav, kilav de chasima. Rabboisai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.